Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending what part of the world that you're in. Today, I think for everybody, is still currently Saturday, the 7th of September, I believe. And it's welcome to the members show. No, you're not. Dakar is putting comments in. You're not. There are other people here as well, but they just haven't made comments. I put out the members link an hour ago, so I did it an hour ago, not overnight. I did it an hour ago, so I don't know whether people are waking up at the moment or have not seen it. But there is a members link because this is your show. This is up to you. You guys can come on and discuss, as the title says, what's on your mind. Anything and everything can be discussed. Safe space on a members show. So what we got? Sorry, what we got? So I've got Dekaru says, looking forward to a little Jose Wisdom this Saturday evening. So yeah, it's evening for you guys in Oz, but it's 10 o'clock in the morning for us here in the UK. I think I'm the only one here. No, there are others. Mark Cousins is here. Good morning, the Sheriff. The Sheriff, can I say to you, you missed the prediction show yesterday. And if you go into the comments from yesterday's show, you will see the fixtures. We do a bonus week. So if you don't take part in the bonus week, you might fall behind. But if you do take part, you might gain some points. So it's up to you, Mark, if you want to do it. But if you look on yesterday's stream, the comments after the show, people have put their predictions in. There are 13 games, by the way, just in case that you read, because some people missed a few and put them on there, and other people put the whole 13 on there. And then we've got Graham's here saying, good morning, Jose. Hope you're well, sir. I survived another game of football last night. We got absolutely trounced last night. And the thing is, we were 1-0 up as well. We were 1-0 up at half time. And I think we ended up losing 5-1 in the end. It was absolutely, Anyway, suffice to say that I got the right ump yesterday. Because although, at my age, I still want to be competitive. And losing is not something that I take, lightly. If you've been beaten by the better team and you've played really well, then so be it. But if you just, if you just make silly mistakes and silly errors and stuff like that, So at the end of the day, we got trounced last night. Look who it is, Mr. Shear. Mr. Shear, check your phone because I sent you a message on your phone, Mr. Shear. Good evening to you, sir, as well. Mark says that he's going to be on it. I will be on it. Breakfast, pop on for a chat, then predictions. Okay, it's fair enough. So basically, it's your show. So if any members come on or you've got any questions, then just fire them away or come on the show if you remember, because the link's out there for you guys. And we can, get going. The only things that I can think of talking about is if I've got to keep it football. That's the other thing. By keeping it football, is that. Let me have a look. Let me see what we got. If I go to the scores and fixtures, because I know a few of the Tottenham boys have been playing, haven't they? So you've got Azerbaijan 1, Swindon 3 on Thursday, and the Tottenham involvement in that game was we had 2 players playing in that game. So Deki played the whole game and was captain for Sweden. The result ended up being Azerbaijan 1, Swindon 3, and you also had a youngster by the name of Lucas Bergvall, who at 18 years of age made his first appearance for Sweden, came on in the 72nd minute. And it's not so much about the minute that he came on at, or sorry, that the fact that he got a game. He's 18 years of age and he got his first senior cap. So at the end of the day, he's been put into that team, squad, whatever you want to call it, by the manager, John Dahl Thomason, who used to be an ex-AC Milan striker, didn't he? And I think he also played for Rangers as well, but his best years were at AC Milan. And he's the manager for Sweden now. And he ended up including Lucas Bergvall in that squad, which is absolutely brilliant. 18 years of age, and he got a run out. What that then does for him when he comes back to the club, car. So the club signs you in the club signs you. You come to the club. The club signs you in January. You come to the club in the summer. We've had 3 Premiership games at the moment. He's got some minutes in 2 of the games, but not much, but some minutes. He's training with people who are better players than his previous club. It's a jump up. It's a step up, we know. He's 18 years of age. And coming to Tottenham, he then gets into his international squad. That's a big achievement for the young man. And long may it continue. But yeah, so you had that. I don't think it's going to tell me Sonny's, because Sonny played as well. So Estonia, Slovakia wouldn't involve us. Portugal, Croatia doesn't involve us. San Marino beating Liechtenstein 1-0 doesn't involve us. Scotland, Poland doesn't involve us. Belarus, Bulgaria doesn't involve us. Northern Ireland, Luxembourg wouldn't involve Tottenham. Denmark, Switzerland wouldn't involve Tottenham. Serbia, Spain doesn't involve any Tottenham players. And then you had some friendlies which wouldn't involve Tottenham at all. Africans, I didn't know the African nations were playing as well, but you've got Tunisia, Madagascar, no, Algeria, Equatorial Guinea, Ghana, Angola, Guinea-Bissau, Eswatini, Congo, South Sudan, Malawi versus Burundi. And then you've got a whole load of under-21 games. Then in the common ball, you had Bolivia versus Venezuela. No, but then you do have, South Korea 0, Palestine 0. Sonny played that match. I would have thought he would have played that match if I can have a look at the details as they come up. Right, here we go. It just tells me the scores on the tables, doesn't tell me who played and who didn't. Because what I was going to say, and I haven't got my phone with me, but I was going to say if Hwan-yeonghabnida, our new player, I don't know. I know that he was called up. Another player, 18 years of age, that Tottenham have purchased. I know we're not going to get to see him till next year, but he's another one that 18 years of age ended up getting called up for his national side. So you've got 2 players that we've signed that have both been two of the youngsters that we signed have both been called up to their full international squad at the age of 18. So not under 18s, not under 20s developments, not under 21 squads, but to the full squad. I don't know whether the young man got any game time because it doesn't tell me in the BBC website, but we know that Lucas Bergvall did. Friday fixtures that we had. You had Lithuania, Cyprus, Belgium, Israel. So I know that it doesn't affect us directly, but if I look at the Israel team, right, so although it doesn't have to affect us directly, Belgium beat Israel 3-1. Mana Solomon captained Israel and he played 80 minutes. So that's the link that we've got with Tottenham there, is that a man on loan to Leeds ended up captaining the team, and they did get beaten 3-1, but he captained the side and played 80 minutes. It's important to get his minutes up, as we would say. Then we have the surprise last night for me was France were beaten at home 3-1 in the Nations League. And did we have... Yeah, Vicario was a substitute. So obviously Vicario being a substitute means they went with Donnarumma, who's the captain, in goal for Italy. And I think that's the only Italian link. Oh no, Destiny Udogie. Destiny Udogie was a substitute and came on for Italy in the 62nd minute, replacing Daniel Fratesi. So Udogie got some minutes with the national team. So he got what did he get? 62nd minute means that he got 28 minutes plus any added time that would have been added on. So therefore, Udogie, who we know is rusty and hasn't had a lot of game time because of his injury through the pre-season, got some more minutes under his belt, which can only be good for us. If these players come back uninjured, should I say, from their international matches, then it can only benefit us. So Lucas Bergvall getting his first cap can only benefit us. a doggy playing minutes can only benefit us. And then you had Kosovo 0, Romania 3 last night. And obviously we know that Radu plays for Romania. Radu played the whole match, but Radu got yellow carded in the 90th plus 4th minute. And I think he must have had a dust up because a Kosovo player, who was also is their captain, also got a yellow card in the same minute of the game. So them two must have had a dust up together in order to get yellow cards in the same minute. But Kosovo 0, Romania 3, again, again with someone like Radu Dragusin, regardless of what's happening with Mickey van der Ven, it means that he's got more minutes into his legs. He's got another 90 minutes. Now, some of these teams all play again. So the teams that played on Thursday will play again on Sunday. The teams that played Friday will play again on Monday. And the teams that played today, which that includes England, will then end up playing again on Tuesday. They all come back to their clubs by Wednesday morning. Everyone will be back at their clubs. And then you roll on getting ready for the North London Derby, which is Sunday week. Kazakhstan, Norway doesn't involve any Tottenham players. Slovenia, Austria doesn't involve any Tottenham players. Iceland, Montenegro doesn't involve Tottenham players. Wales, Turkey. Right. Let me see Wales, Turkey. That was a 0-0 draw. Didn't even know Wales played last night. Okay, so in that game, Ben Davies did play a whole game yesterday for Wales. So another person who hasn't had many minutes in their legs gets more minutes because he played a whole game for Wales yesterday. Sorry, and Brennan Johnson played the whole game and he was yellow carded in the 29th minute, but he played 90 minutes. Now, last season, and I don't know whether this is a plus for us with Brennan Johnson, so please don't shoot me, but last season, Brennan Johnson failed to finish matches, both for club and country. He looked unfit. He looked like he was out on his feet, a bit like that tennis player yesterday, Draper for England in the Flushing Meadows in the US semi-finals. Looked out on his feet, got beaten, but looked out on his feet. Well, the same can be said for Johnson, but Johnson actually played a full 90 minutes for Wales yesterday. Again, can only be good for his fitness and stamina for the club. In the African nation qualifiers, who we got here? Have we got anyone from this nation? I don't think we have. No, we've got no one playing in that game. Congo versus Guinea. No. Mali. Right, Mali versus Mozambique. Yes, you got it. It was a 1-1 draw between Mali and Mozambique. The goal scorer and captain for Mali is Bissouma, and Bissouma got the equaliser for them in the 52nd minute, and Bissouma ended up being substituted in the 94th minute, so right at the end of the game. So Bissouma got a full game. Bissouma also got on the score sheet, which is something that never used to happen, but he's already scored for Tottenham this season, and now he's scored for his national team as well. Right, here we go. What we got here? Senegal won, Burkina Faso won yesterday, and Pape Sarr played 68 minutes of that game yesterday. Right, Peter is here. Peter, I don't know. Peter, did you see my message last night that I left for you? Sorry, I'm just to Peter Kagayas. I know that you're just in. Did you see my message yesterday that I left for you? Because I left you a message with my email address for so you could contact me, but I'm not sure whether you saw it, but I did put it into that chat last night for you. If you haven't, I'll put it in again. Or if you want, Peter, you can come on now because you're a member. You've got the link. You can come on now, and then I can trade numbers in the back with you if you like. Yesterday there was also under 21 championship qualifiers, and England played last night. And they drew. They got a poor. Apparently, people weren't happy. They got a 0-0 score against Northern Ireland. And last night, Archie Gray played the whole match for England, and he played in midfield for them yesterday. So, yeah, So you got Archie Gray that played yesterday. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else that would have been affected. No, and we got no under 21s Irish players. So Archie Gray played. Right. So Peter, just for you, mate. Have you have a look? Right, I'll put it in there for you now. Right, Peter, there you go. There's my email address for the channel. Yeah. So if you see, there's my email address for the channel, Peter. It's a couple for 3 messages underneath from where your message is, but that's my email address. If you take that down, then you can send me a thing. David Shear, the link, I've sent you the link already, mate. You've got the link. I've sent it to you. Who else we got here? I'm trying to see if any of our under 21s would have played yesterday. I'm trying to, because we've got so many youngsters in the team, it's hard to keep up with who plays for what nation. Who does Vuskovic play for? Is Vuskovic Serbian? Right, yeah, he's Serbian. Let me see if Serbia played yesterday. Did Serbia play yesterday? Right, Serbia under 21s. Lineups. Because I'm not sure. This chap might be an actual Vuskovic. He might be an actually full international. When did Serbia play their matches? Or are they playing tonight? Let's have a look. Serbia. Or Serbia yesterday? Let me see. Thursday. Did Serbia play yesterday or Thursday? Serbia 0, Spain 0. Oh my God, Spain didn't get a result. Vuskovic. Oh, Vuskovic doesn't appear to have been in the first. Doesn't appear that Vuskovic played at all, wasn't called up at all yesterday. Now, Vuskovic, got to remember, he's 18 as well. So I'm not sure what happened with Vuskovic yesterday. But today we have Moldova, Malta, Republic of Ireland versus England, but we've got no England players there at the moment. Croat, that's it. Graham, you're right. He's Croat, isn't he? What am I looking for? Why did I look Serbian? He's Croat. Of course he is. Right, Portugal 2, Croatia 1 on Thursday night. No. No, he wasn't in the team, full team. So, got to look for Croatia under 21s then. And I don't think the under 21s played till last night. Let me see if we played with Croatia under 21s. That's providing I had a game. Czechia. No, it appears that there wasn't a game for Croatia under 21s last night. Whether there was a friendly or not, I don't know, but this doesn't show me friendlies. But there are matches being played tonight as well. So, ding, ding, ding. Friendlies. Right, under 21s. There was an under 21 games the night before. Right, Croatia 2, the Faroe Islands 1. Yep, Vuskovic played for Croatia under 21s. He wore the number 4 shirt and played for the under 21s on Thursday. Now, although he's not at the club now, he's at Westerlo, and we know now that Alfie Devine has now gone to Westerlo as well. So therefore, there's the links that tonight. The links are with Westerlo. We've now got another player there. So not only are we watching one, but we've got another. Let me just say, I need to say hello to a few people in the chat. Kairi says to me, at least you're still playing. This is the first season I've missed since the 90s. Back problems, working on it so I can get back into it next season. I can say it all the time, Dekaru, and this is about anybody. It doesn't just mean channel members. It's about anybody in life. The one thing I don't wish is illness on anyone. Illness can affect you both physically and mentally. whether you're a man, woman, child, you know, at the end of the day, illnesses are not good at all. So I really hope that your back recovers and that you're able to come back playing as soon as humanly possible. Eugene, good morning. Sorry, I would say good evening to you, Eugene, because it's your evening time in Malaysia. So good evening to you, sir. Finn, good morning to you, Finn, if you're still here. Sorry. Big up Jose and the rest of the chat. Hi, Finn. Good morning, mate. I hope you're well. Dekari says the future of Spurs looks so bright. I need to wear shades. Graham says, I have to say, I'm actually quite excited to see these youngsters like Bergwijn and Gray coming through. David says, same Graham, I'll give them time. They better be generational or I want them loaned out. Lee Whiskins here saying, big up Jose in chat. Good morning to you, Lee. I hope you're well. You got Daniel Coy saying, big up. So big up back to you, Daniel Coys. This is the first weekend off I've had in maybe a month. Just fortunate no Spurs game, says Dekaru. Lee Whiskins thanking Peter for his membership. It's very kind of you. So thank you very much, Peter, from Lee Whiskid. No, you haven't seen it. I've put it in there for you now, Peter. So hopefully you can see that. There's my channel email address for you, Peter. It's there. Yeah. So email me with your digits, please. Who you got? Graham is saying, I will call it now. Archie Gray will be called to the England's first team by the end of this season. You are right, he was Croatian. Finn says he's always here. Good, Finn. Right. Lee says to me, question, is Trent in the squad for England? I believe he is. I believe he was selected for the squad for England. I don't have the details in front of me now, but I believe he was selected. I think Carsley has brought in 4 youngsters that played for him in the under-21s. So you got Morgan's Gibbs White, who was called up. Angel Gomez was called up. Who else did he call up? He called up 4 of them, didn't he? Let's have a look. Do you know what? You've asked a question, and if you ask the question, I'll have to have a look. So England squad. England squad for the Nations League. Let's have a look. These have all got these have got like 100 million players. Oh, so right, so okay, so he's called up Tino Livramento. He's called up Morgan's Gibbs White, Noni Madueke, and Angel Gomez, who all played for him in the under-21s. So he's called them up all. As far as I can make out, yeah, TTA is in the squad. I don't know. I mean, I only saw a little comment on this yesterday. It was like a headline, a small headline that was in saying that Carsley will not sing "God Save the King" at the stadium tonight. I don't know what that's all about, but that's what he's turned around and said. Good morning to you, Niall, sir. Hope you're well. Says this break is boring. Lee says he forgot the new manager's name. David Shears, right? Hit the likes. And Lee Whiskey is so mildly curious for a change, seeing as we have to put up with international. Yeah, I mean, the international week is not the greatest week, in the sense that I think what's happened is, and I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel that there's been a disconnect with following your national team. I think that if I go back 30, 40, even 20 years ago, when football wasn't diluted as much as it is now, and there's not games on all the time, because at the moment you can find a football match every day of the week. It never used to be like that. It used to be that football was played just on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. in the afternoon here in England, and everybody, doesn't matter who you were, what division you were in, whether you're using Premiership, it doesn't matter whether you was in the Premiership, doesn't matter whether you was in the old national leagues, conference leagues, doesn't matter whether you played in the Scottish Premiership, Scottish Division 2, doesn't matter whether you played in Wales, Ireland, every single game was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you didn't have loaded games in midweek either. So basically the football that we would watch British football on a Saturday, right? And then we would watch maybe the Italian football on Channel 4 on a Sunday. Some people that are lucky enough could have got to watch La Liga on a Sunday. The German league played predominantly on a Sunday. I think the French league played Saturdays at the back then as well. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is there was one game at the weekend, and the only time you had midweek games is if there was replays or postponements. You'd play during the week, but that wasn't every week, right? And then obviously back then you'd have your internationals would just be, although in saying that your internationals would be for qualifiers, but whether it was for European Championships or whether it's for the World Cup, and you did have some friendlies thrown in there as well, granted. But I feel that the national teams were followed far more back then with interest than what they are now. Now that you've got a diluted football program, I mean, you know, every day of the week, you can find a match to watch, whether it's on a Fire Stick, whether it's going through subscriptions that you may have, or by any means, you can find a game of football in this world every single day of the week. It never ever used to be like that. So, to me, now that they've diluted football so much, a lot of the pizzazz and the buzz about following the national team has gone. To be honest, in my eyes, I mean, like I said, I don't know how people think about it in the chat, but that's my thoughts on it. I think generally it's lost its pizzazz and that, and people generally don't care about the qualifiers and that, unless they have a vested interest for some reason. I don't think people care about the qualifiers and that, and they're just, if they're going to watch international football, it's when the tournaments are on, and even then, it's not all the time either. You know, Lee, let me tell you now, I've not got to your comment yet, but you are younger than me, Lee. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because Smithy saw me, and I don't know whether Smithy will say I look my age or not. He probably will do. He probably say I'm an old, haggard man. But no, I'm older than that, Lee. Older than that. So, yeah, so to me, yeah, as I said, it's been diluted. The football's been diluted. And, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, there's just too much football on. So people take this weekend or these fixtures with a pinch of salt. I say I've got more people watching here than what have hit the like button. So go on, hit the like button. It helps the stream. And if any of you are members, because I can see quite a few of you, you've got the badge right next to your name. You're more than welcome to come on. I sent the link out. The link's gone out to everybody this morning. I did it an hour before the show started. Daniel's explaining to me now because he used to play for Ireland, Carsley. That's why he's not doing it tonight. Right. And I can understand that. Lee's saying he didn't know either. Amin, Korea's here. Good morning, Amin. Good evening, good afternoon, she says. Attack, attack, attack. Forget about defending. Yep, true. Attack, attack, attack. Forget about defending. Are you referring a slight dig there to Tottenham, Amin? Or is it somebody else? Smithy's here, says, Senor Jose, good morning, Smithy. I hope you're well and it's not too early and that your head is not pounding. Shemtam, good morning, Shemtam. How are you? I hope you are well. Good morning, Bossman Jose. I hope you're having a good morning, sir. I am. I've got you lovely people with me. No one's joined me yet, but I have got you lovely people with me, and that's all a man could want. There you go. There you go. Lee says he's never been bothered by England. Dekaru says, I don't understand why there's an international break just 3 weeks into the season. It just seems wrong. Seems like someone somewhere has no idea to plan things. It's because of the dilution. It's because of the congestion that there is, Dekaru, in football in general throughout the whole of the world. And at the end of the day, we play more football now than what we've ever done, and it's all commercially commercial bound. It's all about making money and being commercial about X, Y, and Z, and you know, promoting products, and you know, at the end of the day, there is too much football going on, and that's why this happens. Last year, if you remember, this is not nothing new this year, but last year we had an international break in September. I think we had one in October, and we also had one in November. So we had 3 international breaks. So the season really didn't get going properly till after the internationals. And then by the time that happened, then you had another break again in March or something like that. So, and the same is going to happen this season, and the same will happen every season. And the disruption that we had last year, which we haven't got this year, is that we had the Asia Cup and the African nations. So we lost players, and you lose players in winter, in January, you definitely lose it for the whole of January and part of February. But that comes about every 2 years. So we ain't going to have to worry about that this season. But the following season, we will have to look at it again. Daniel Coy says, I officially gave up on England after after that final in the summer. Who did they play, Dan? I can't remember. You have to remind me. Smithy, Tottenham take the piss. Just seen on the exchange for the Shitnall game that there was a ticket in area 105 for £440 and 50 pence. And guess what? It's people are mad. Wiz is saying we must be of a similar age. I may be older at 53. No, you are not older. We have the sheriff.
Oh, hang on. I got to turn my phone off. Okay. There we go. You would have had echoes then, because you were on my phone as well.
Hold on, let me just catch up with the chat, and then I've got you, Mark. Smithy says, saying hello. David says, not enough English players, Jose, playing in the Premier League. There is more English players now probably playing in the Premier League than what we've ever had, or they're involved in the first teams now a lot more than what they ever used to be, in my eyes. Lee Whiskid says, fair play, I don't look it. Cheers. Smithy's put another comment down there, and I'm going to have to see it in a minute. Dakara says, I'm still scarred from the one time I joined the stream. It was maybe 3 a.m. and I'd been out and had a few drinks with friends. I've learnt my lesson since then. Dakara, you didn't come on to the main show. You came on in the back just with me. It was just you and me, but we weren't live. So you haven't done anything wrong, mate. It was you and me in the back room, and we discussed spreadsheets and stuff like that and life. But we was in the back. We wasn't live on stream. But you're more than welcome. You're a member, mate. You're more than welcome to come and join. Smithy says, Jose, you look 21. Oh, sorry, you look 21, Jose. My eyes were hazy from the beers. Only joking. You look fit as a fiddle. And I was mesmerised. You can fit into a kid's medium t-shirts. Incredible, mate. Well, now I know you're taking the absolute living piss. 3 to sort them as well. Yeah, 3 again. And Smith, Wizzy's saying, get this, £2 for Liverpool versus Real ticket at Anfield. That ain't hospitality or anything. That's how much they're changing hands for. Dekaru says, yeah, we discussed things, but I also once joined the main channel. If you did, Dekaru, I cannot recall it. But, again, at the end of the day, you're more than welcome to do so. Right, we have got the sheriff here. Again, I'm going to say to people, please hit the like buttons. We've got more people in here than what we have hitting the like button. When the sheriff's back. Right.
No, I just blow my nose, Jose. They don't want to see me doing that on the camera.
No, we didn't, but we heard it.
Oh, sorry. I should have muted myself.
I thought it was a kettle going off.
No.
You know, one of those goes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, possibly.
So, morning, Mark. How are you?
Very well, sir. How are you? I just had my breakfast.
I've not had no breakfast yet at all.
Well, you obviously know with all my problems, I got to stick to times, and I haven't got to, but it makes it easier.
Yeah, I do as well. I've got to stick to times as well, but I just haven't had anything this morning. I just had a coffee and that was it. I just haven't fancied having my oats, so to speak, this morning because I have to have rolled oats and stuff like that. A bit. So where you've got type 1, I got diagnosed with type 2, so I got to keep to I got to keep to a regime as well. So
well, we can have a discussion about that if you want. It might bore people in the chat.
I just haven't had anything yet. That's all.
Yeah. Yours in now. Well, from what I understand, like type 2 is not quite well. It is just as bad, but you know, with type 2, you're still producing some sort of insulin. It's just not enough. That's as much as I know. Whereas me with type 1, it just stopped, you know, and so I was producing no insulin.
Yeah.
Hence why I got to jab myself 4 times a day.
Yeah, I know. I don't have to jab myself, and I'm not on medication anymore because.
Oh, you're not?
Nah. I beat it, but it started to creep up again. Right?
Yeah.
And what they've turned around and what they say is that once you've had it, you're coded for life.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. My dad, he was like, no one in my family's got diabetes whatsoever, and so what I'd done to get it, I don't know. I must have been evil in a previous life or something, you know. But but it's the hand I got dealt, so you got to put up with it. But but my dad was like on the borderline, you know, being type 2, and he just altered his diet. You know, he won't have like sugar in his coffee, or he won't eat biscuits and he won't eat biscuits and cakes and stuff like that.
There's a lot more to it than stop eating crisp biscuits and cakes and stuff like that.
Well, I'm only going on my dad's experience and his levels went.
Yeah,
sorry?
they go down. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But it comes down to exercise as well, and you know, and doing stuff. It's not just about the lack of the stop eating the wrong stuff.
Yeah,
you've got to do the exercising as well, because as you well know, or people should out there know, regardless whether you've got diabetes or not, there are other problems as well that are linked. So you may not have diabetes, but you may have high cholesterol, and all these.
Well, I got that, and I got that as well.
Yeah, but you don't have to have diabetes to have high cholesterol. But all these things are interlinked, and they're not good. They're not good for the heart and stuff like that. So you know, we have to do things in order to help ourselves, and that's what we try to do.
I'll tell you the one thing I found, Jose, is the older I get, the more bloody tablets pile up. honestly, right?
I went to the chemist this morning, right, and they were selling the trays that have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh yeah.
The tablet boxes or whatever. They look like a tray, and I looked there and I thought to myself, God forbid when I get to that stage.
Well, I don't want to bore your chat, but like I'll go through the things I got to take. Right, one of the things, I'm not sure if it's type 2s as well. One of the things with type 1 diabetes is that some people, I'm not saying all, but some of them, your B12 levels are low. Yeah. I'm not sure why that is, but it's just a common thing. And so, right, I got to take 3 B12 tablets a day. Right. Then I got to take my cholesterol tablet. A statin. Is it statins?
Yeah, statins for cholesterol.
Yeah. I got to take a statin. And now there's been a recent one added. My thyroid's like playing out because thyroid and diabetes is all linked. Allegedly. I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
I said, there's a lot of links to lots of different illnesses. Yeah.
And so I got to take a thyroid tablet now. You know, and as years go on, there's more and more. It's just a constant, like, but I'm lucky, see, because I get free prescriptions.
Yeah, when you've got diabetes, you do get.
Well, there's about, is it half a dozen or 7 or 8, like conditions you can have where you get granted free prescriptions.
You get a medical exemption card, don't you?
Yeah. But that's what it is. It's that medical exemption thing.
Yeah, they last for 5 years, and then you get recalculated after 5 years. But if you've got type 1, you're going to get recalculated. And
we just get it immediately.
I will get reassessed for mine in 2026, and if I manage to keep the diabetes away, then I won't be given a card again. Although I'm coded, I won't be given a card again because it means that I've not had any medication for it. so therefore there's no need to grant me a card. So, and I'd rather be in that position, to be honest, than having the dreaded diabetes. But there we go.
I'll be honest with you, Jose. Now, as you know, I've probably told it. Well, I was on Tottenham on Tours members chat yesterday, and I've told this story about 400 times, and me and Gary Mabbott and whatever. So I won't bore you with that. But like when I got it, I thought, you know, all right, am I allowed to swear? A little swear.
Do you like?
Well, all right. Well, when I got it when I was 20 years old, yeah, I was pissed off. You know, I was supposedly in the prime of my life. But if you don't sort of get on with it, then, I mean, it's pointless just sitting there feeling miserable for yourself. You just got to deal with the hand that you've been given in life, you know? Hang on, you're on mute. Oh, all right. Jose's on mute.
Yeah, I was on mute. So I was saying to my wife.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I thought that's what you were doing. No, but you know, you just got to get on with life. You know, if you get dealt certain things in life, you know, you got two choices. You can curl up and you know, feel sorry for yourself, or you can just say, well, you know, I got this, so I got to get on with it. You know, and it took me a while, but it's when Tottenham won the FA Cup in '91, because I didn't just come out of hospital.
Yeah.
And as Gary's walking up steps, they say, oh, he's a fantastic ambassador for the sport, because he does a lot for charity, see?
Yeah.
He always has. And then they say, oh, a fantastic ambassador for the game. And like he's battled diabetes all his life. I was 1 month out of hospital, and I was like, well, if he can do it, so can I, you know? And as you know, I've met him twice, and he's an absolute gentleman. When you actually meet him, he's an absolute gentleman. He's got time for everybody.
Yeah, there are some people that are good like that.
Yeah,
but they're all equally. You get some that are not as good with stuff like that as well. It goes to their heads, and they don't give back to.
Yeah.
They don't give back to the people that fed you in the first place, type thing. There's a few that are like that. Sorry, Spurs GCTV's been a member for 2 months. Says smash the likes up, for folks. Come on, you Spurs. Yes, do as Graham, member for 2 months, says, and smash the likes.
I've already done that. I already done that on my phone.
Fantastic. So, what's on your mind today, Mark?
Oh, well, it's boring, isn't it? It's boring at the moment with the international thing. I was sort of listening to what you said about the England thing. You know, I mean, it's like you said, you know, the amount of football that's on TV now. I mean, I remember, like, when I was a kid, the only game that was on live, it was either the World Cups, that was always on, or the FA Cup final. You know, and possibly the Euros as well. The Euros would have been on there. You know, but, like, there was no live football. The only live sort of league game was the FA Cup final. I know it's not a league game, but, you know, that was the only live game. 3 o'clock, May to something, 3 o'clock, Saturday, May to something, middle of May sometime, and it was the FA Cup final. And the whole day was took up. It was like breakfast with the players, then the coach trip to the stadium. And it was on for about, 10 hours? It was all on there, because they'd actually have live cameras on the coaches for both teams.
And they'd have it in the hotel as well when they were in breakfast in the morning. And, And then when they came out in the stadium for the walk around, like an hour and a half before the game, and then they'd be outside the stadium interviewing fans and stuff like that. So yeah, it used to be a big fanfare.
Oh
yeah, you're quite right. It used to last. Used to last from about 8 in the morning to about 6 in the evening. So yeah, about 10 hours.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure it was on like 10, 11 hours. Like, it was just the whole day. And basically that was the only game that was all right. They had match of the day. Match of the day was on, I don't know, 10:30 at night on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't, now, correct me if I'm wrong, they wouldn't show every game. They'd only pick like 3 or 4, and it depends whether the BBC cameras was there or not.
3
Am I
games.
right in saying that?
3 games. The big match used to cover 3 games. The big match on ITV used to do and that used to be on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
It used to be LWT, London Weekend Television.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
The big match with Brian Moore.
Yeah.
Brian Moore. They would cover 3 matches.
I remember that.
And you're quite right. Match of the Day did also do something like 3 matches, because then I remember them having a clock, the white clock,
yes,
with the minute on it, and then underneath they'd have the triangle box, 2 boxes, right, split, and the goal scorers used to go in the boxes underneath in big white writing.
That's right.
That's how football was back in the day.
And can you remember going to football grounds as well? And there was there was like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it used to go through the alphabet. And on the program, they would get like the corresponding fixtures to them letters. And then at half time, they would read out like A, 1-0, B, like, and you could read it in the program to see what the get, they wouldn't read out like so-and-so to so-and-so, it'd be like A is like 1-0. And they do it like that because a lot of football grounds had those letters down the side. It was on one of the stands.
Yeah.
And you had to like compare it in your program to see what game they were sort of talking about. It was completely different. Like, well, I suppose we're going back, 70s?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. It would be. Right, so you've got Lee Whiskey says, I've got an ultrasound and blood test for all sorts of shit. Ain't after sympathy, but telling people makes me worry about it less. Right.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll tell you, Lee, is it ain't no fun getting older, right? And what I will say is that you see people in everyday life. You can walk down the road and walk past someone, and they may look as right as rain when you walk past them. You could greet someone if you're kind enough and you're a good person. You could greet someone and say hello to a stranger you've never met before when you walk past them in the street. Doesn't tend to happen in major cities, but in the sticks where I live, it happens quite often. People are very respectful. And you say hello to someone and you don't know what they're going through. But it's nice to make someone happy by saying hello. But when I was younger, I didn't realise what I do now. So when I was younger, I thought everybody was as right as rain, because outwardly you don't see any issues and any problems with people. But as you get older, you start learning that you've got to take a tablet for this, a tablet for that, a tablet for this, and a tablet for that. And at the end of the day, like we're talking now as adult grown up men, is we're talking about we're having to take tablets to survive. And at the end of the day, I would rather you, Lee, get checked, right? Yeah, everyone's fearful when they're going for checkups and tests and whatever. But I'd rather you, and any man out there, I'd rather you go and get checked. So if you are inadvertently, you have any illnesses that are unseen, that they get found as soon as possible and then are treated. I got my results through last week. It's the second time I've done a PSA test, which is for prostate. And what I'll say to people is that if you're aged 50 or over, go to your doctor, regardless of what they say. You go to your doctor, tell them that you're getting up during the night every night now, right? Which is one of the symptoms. You get up every single night. You got stinging pee. When you go to pee, it stings and stuff like that. And just get a PSA test sorted out, because you don't. The medical council tell you that they call you in when you're 55. Well, that's a lie, because I went and got mine done when I was 54, and I done it by lying on the form, and I got a PSA test done, and I was clear. And now I got called in for a mandatory one at 56 years of age, so a year after it was meant to have been done, and obviously I was clear as well. Get these tests done. If people are fearful of doing tests, but get the test done, because the sooner you can identify if there's something there, the sooner they can clear it up for you. So Lee, I wish you all the very best in your ultrasound and in your blood test, but I'd rather you do them than put them off, and that's for anybody. Yeah.
Can I just jump in? Good.
Yeah.
Right. Put it this way. In my experience, it's a bloke thing. I'm all right. But to be honest, I was exactly the same in 1991 people were telling me, Mark, you've lost weight. Mark, you've lost weight. All this, right? And I knew I had a problem, but I was like, I'm all right, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, I encourage everybody. If you think there's something wrong with you, go and see a doctor. Because nobody knows your body as well as you do. You can feel things and you know if things aren't right. If anybody's got any problems, doesn't matter what it is, just go and see a doctor.
Yeah, get checked out. I say,
you know, because a lot of it, the earlier you get seen, the better it is.
You could have something, or you could avoid getting something. Because
yes, exactly.
Early signs appear.
Exactly.
So, yeah, just make sure. And as I said, Lee and everybody else, I wish you all the best. But go and get seen. It's important.
Yeah.
It's important to get seen. Don't go when it's too late. Shemtown says, listening to you two is like talking about myself. Damn, I'm old. I keep saying to myself, I have that, I take that, I have that, I have to do that.
Yeah.
It's true, Shemtown. It's part of growing older. Dakaru says, it's extra boring not being a European. The internationals are meaningless to me. Tel Cockerel member chat is my football high point for the week. Dakaru, I do more than one show. Phil from Shropshire is here. And that's what I'm going to call him, Phil from Shropshire. Yesterday, he was on Spurs Diehards, and I put in the chat, good evening, the Shropshire lad.
I wonder what that was about, Josie.
Yeah, no, I thought Phil was a Brummie in my show yesterday, and Phil was like, I'm from Shropshire. And then someone said that Shropshire is right beside, I don't know, Wolverhampton or something like that. And I thought to myself, well, fuck, you know, that's Brummie land, isn't it? So
that's close enough, to be honest.
So yesterday in the chat, Phil, I'm not sure whether you saw it, but yesterday in the chat on Spurs Diehards, I said, good evening to the Shropshire lad.
I did wonder what that was all about.
And then I said, good evening to the panel after.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Right, who else you got here? Mark Cook. Good morning, Mark. Says, big up Jose and all the chat. Mark, I hope you are well, mate. I hope you're well. Who was the guy in World of Sport? I missed that. Dickie Davis.
It was.
Dickie Davis was the man on World of Sport.
With the white bit. Yeah. With the white bit here, wasn't it?
And he did. It was Saturday at 12:30 on a Saturday, World of Sport.
Yeah. And 4 o'clock. And 4 o'clock, the wrestling was on. Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks.
And when that finished, they did a little bit of the pools. Although a lot of people went and watched the pools on the results, basically, but the pools, because you used to get the result and then you used to get the 1, the X, or the 3, or whatever it was, right beside the score line to tell you what you'd got in your pools coupon. Oh, look, Dakaru has kindly gifted a channel membership, and it's gone to Phil Coys. So Phil, from the lad from Shropshire, has been gifted and it's quite funny because I've just seen Phil's comment as well. So, and it makes me laugh because it hits home. Dry Roasted Peanut, you guys go way back. Do you remember when the club was formed? Yeah, the club was formed in 1882.
Yeah, it was under a lamppost, wasn't it? It was something to do with it was something to do with a cricket club, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Tottenham's birthday was a few days ago.
Yeah, it was
142nd birthday was a few days ago.
Yeah, was it Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday, I think. I was
going to say it was a few days ago. In the hype says Sky only have a certain amount of broadcast trucks. This is why the game times are staggered. One truck has 2 games, so it's 2 locations. Dakaru says, okay, let's get Phil Coys on instead. I think that he meant that's who it's gone to, and it should come on. In the hype says, my friend wrote a book about growing, diagnosed type 2, when he actually had type 1.
Oh,
wow.
I've never heard of anything like that, because they are similar, but they're not similar in other ways.
Phil says, this is what made me laugh, Phil, and you'll know why, because your words say, Dakaru legend, thank you, currently getting my barnet cut at the moment. And yeah, it makes me laugh because you got 2 names there. You got one in the title and one within the comment section. Ben's here.
Big up, sir.
Good morning to Ben. I hope you are well on this Saturday morning, Ben. Good morning to you. David Shear says 6 weeks it takes to see my doctor.
It's about the same here, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, no, well, where I am is terrible. I wanted to see my doctor. Right, no, it was when, because well, it's going back to diabetes again, but just recently, over the last couple of years, see, I haven't been to the hospital for an appointment for years, because after I'd been diagnosed for a couple of years and they were sort of convinced I knew what I was doing, they said, oh, you can just go to your doctors now. But there's a thing coming now that you've got to, like, they'd like you to be under a consultant at the hospital. So I had to go to the hospital, like, to see the consultant. So I went, blood tests and that, because they always do blood tests when you're there. And then about a month or two later, I got a letter from the hospital. We're concerned about some level. I don't know what it was. Like, we'd like you to go on these, well, it was thyroid tablets. And so I phoned my doctor and said, look, can I make an appointment to see the doctor? I've just had a letter from the hospital saying I got to take these thyroid tablets. And they were like, oh, well, we ain't got no appointments. Can I book you a phone appointment? And I said, well, fair enough. I said, I don't desperately need to see him, but I need to get prescribed these tablets. And she said, well, the nearest one I got is in 6 weeks. And I was like, oh, thank you very much. So I'd been told I had to start taking these tablets, and then I couldn't get them prescribed for like 2 months.
So yeah, but are you talking about seeing a consultant in an hospital, or are you talking about going to your GP surgery?
My GP surgery, because I got the letter from the hospital, my local hospital, and they said, right, we want you to start taking these like thyroid tablets. And so I phoned my doctors to try and get an appointment, and they said, oh, no, it's only like phone appointments. And they said, well, we'll book you one for like 6 weeks. And I was like, because I said to her, look, well, I was told I had to start taking these tablets like straight away. And I said, well, if that's what it's got to be, that's what it's got to be. But to get a doctor's appointment where I live is nigh on impossible.
Right. Literally. So to let you guys into a little bit, I don't know whether you've heard me say this before, but my wife used to work in a doctor's surgery, and the stories I get from when she used to come home from work were that I'm not going to say this. Well, this probably might be synonymous everywhere, but in the surgery that she worked at, she said that I think the surgery that she worked at had 16,000 patients on the books. Right, that's a lot of people for a small place that we live at, right? Mm-hmm. And she said that this is pre-COVID. She said that a lot of the appointments were taken by people that had sniffles, headache, or a headache, or a toothache, or I've knocked my knee. So basically, a waste of time. Instead of going and just taking some paracetamol and stuff like that, people used to waste times on appointments. The amount of people that never used to turn up to appointments as well. Things were really, really, and it's the way that things are run. Since COVID came along, they had to change the way they worked, where you had to triage people online. So, but through Teams, Google Meets, and stuff like that, you triage people, and then when you triage people, then if you're deemed to be that you need to come in, then you would come in. Or they started using apps where you could send photographs of whatever was wrong with you to the surgery, and if they deemed you can come in, then you'd come in, and they'd open the doors for you, because doctors were all closed back then, but you'd have to wear your mask for an appointment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And since all that's happened, what doctor surgeries have now done is they now triage people. And they triage people, so the people that do get the appointments are the people that need them, rather than the people that are wasting their time.
Yeah.
The amount of abuse that staff, and this is, so they're not doctors. My wife wasn't a doctor. She was admin staff, i.e. receptionists and stuff like that. And the amount of abuse they used to get from people coming in, shouting the odds, and doing this and doing that, and blaming them for this, that, and everything. She ended up leaving. She said,
I'm not having to go at anybody. I'm not having to go at anybody.
I'm not saying you are.
Because the NHS is absolutely marvellous. And they're all overworked, underpaid, you know, the work they do is because well, obviously I've had a lot to do with the NHS because of my problems, but like the hours that they work, especially in a hospital, like the nurses, and I mean, a lot of them are on like 14-hour shifts, you know, 20-hour shifts is not uncommon. You know, it's like, I take my hat off to all of them, because to be honest, I ain't got the patience to, honestly, like, you know, I couldn't do it, like with the stress and people like shouting at you. Here he is. Hello, Cobber.
How you going, guys?
Hello, boy. You all right?
How you going? G'day, chat.
No. Oh, well, are you?
Yeah, so.
Cool. We're blessed with royalty today. Look at that. We've got another one.
They're all coming in,
Smithy! How you going, Cobber?
What is it? You've
Good,
had your
mate.
breakfast. Smithy's had his breakfast. David's had his dinner, and you're all suddenly all popping on because you've all eaten. And there's me, and I haven't I haven't had a bit of food at all this morning.
I had my breakfast. I made sure of it.
I nearly lost mine when I heard Mark snorting.
Yeah. Well, hang on a minute. Let's get this out there. It wasn't snorting. I was blowing my nose. Because snorting means something else. Because snorting means something else in this country.
It sounded like a kettle going off, didn't it? You know, the steam kettle going off. It sounded like that. So before I bring you in, Lee Whiskey says that Saturday wrestling, my dad used to make me do the Montfort Hall every Wednesday to see all those wrestlers, like Giant Haystacks and Kendo Nagasaki.
Yeah.
I remember all them. Mark's saying,
Hello, Ben.
I can't even get a doctor's appointment, phone only. They call you within a week. Ben says that I can get a doctor's appointment. I can get a doctor's appointment because I'm on immunosuppressants, or I have a line to my main doctor's surgery. Dekaru says, I hate the whole concept of people abusing people who are just doing their job. It's just not on.
Yeah.
It's never on. Why can't people respect others? And then you've got Mark Cook saying, big up to Mr. Shear.
Good to see you, Cookie, in here, mate. Hope you're all right.
So tell me, boys, how are you? What's on your mind? It's Saturday morning for you, Smithy. It's Saturday evening for you, Mr. Shear.
I thought I've got 10 minutes. Well, my daughter's not having a meltdown, so I thought, yeah, I'll come and say hello to Jose Senor. And Mark, didn't realise Copper was coming on the same second I was, but yeah, big up, Copper.
Yeah, it's good. It's the shows for you guys, so it's good. Yeah, girls at that age, Smithy, it's only like that way all the way through now, mate.
Getting to the stage where things change.
Yeah, I know. I've been there, mate. I've been there.
As they become teenagers, it's quite hard.
Yeah, I've got 3 daughters. Yeah. I know. I'm fully aware. I've got 2 boys, but they were easy. They just dusted their knees down and got on with it. The dramas I go through with the girls. Oh,
yeah. My daughter's put me off children for life. Fucking hell. Never.
All mine have grown up, and like, you know, I wash my hands of them now. Goodbye.
Aye.
You know, I got a grandson now. And that's ideal, because when I see him, I just like, if he like starts squalling, and I just hand him back. Here we go.
So rugby pass, Mark.
Sorry?
Rugby pass, mate.
Oh yeah.
We handball them in Australia.
Any of that now.
So Smithy, you looking forward to next week, son?
Yeah, boy. Yeah, mate. I've been lucky. My mate has got a season ticket. He can't go because he's
Graham.
He's just had a knee operation, so I've got his ticket. So I'm quite lucky that way, because it's like gold dust, isn't it? The NLD.
Is your brother going again, on your mate, or?
Yeah, my brother and Bunty's with me. Yeah.
Well, are they season ticket holders or something?
Bunty's not. He's got a membership like me. I'm not sure if he's got one yet, actually. But my brother got a season ticket this season. So yeah, he's
okay, fair enough. Right.
They are like rock and roll pup, aren't they?
Well, like I put in the comment section today, I went on it to look to see if there was a ticket for him, so I'd have just brought it for him, and then he could give me the money. But obviously, he doesn't want to pay £440. That's just ridiculous.
Is that how much they normally go for, Smithy? Because I don't really look at the ticket prices now. Is that how much they normally go for, or has it just got dearer now that the Arsenal game?
Well, I've never paid that. That's the first time I've ever seen a ticket for £400.
That's not through the club, is it? That's not through the club. That's through like Ticketmaster and places like that.
On the ticket exchange, that is through Tottenham on the ticket exchange.
Oh, is it? Well, all I got to say to that, and if it's like £400 odd, then it's got to be some sort of executive thing where you might get drinks or something chucked in.
No, it's in section 105, which is right to the left of the south stand at the top.
Well, if you look at so is that east stand or west stand? I can't work out which way you're looking.
If I'm stood in south stand, you look to the left, there's a screen, yeah? There's a big screen.
Yeah.
To the right of that is section 105 up there.
But that's the west stand then, isn't it? That's the west. Well, that's all the posh seats anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the west stand. Yeah,
west stand.
Yeah, it's the west stand. Yeah.
But still, I wouldn't be paying £440.
No, Christ, no. I think the most I paid for a ticket was 70. Because the members around here.
What, for the new stadium?
Yeah.
What, NOD? Yeah.
Sorry? No, not North London Derby.
No, you're saying for a ticket at the moment.
No, for a ticket, because like I'm in Somerset Spurs, obviously I've said, and anyone who can't go, like most games, apart from the North London Derby, there's always on the Facebook group, there's always tickets floating about, but you just got to be early enough to see it and jump in there saying, "Oh, I'll have it," you know.
You're not on the membership thing then, Mark?
I've never been a One Hotspur member. None of that. Why would I give Levy 50 odd quid when I can get a ticket through Somerset Spurs?
Well, I suppose. I've
got a CRN number, because all you need is a CRN number. Because say there's loads of season ticket holders around this area, or there must be, right? And there's a Somerset Spurs Facebook group, and messages will come in there. I got one spare for, say, well, the 3 games I went to when Conte was there: Everton, Palace, and Fulham. That's the 3 home games I went to. And all it was is I looked on Somerset Spurs. Someone says, "Oh, I got a ticket." Yeah, I'll have it. You know, and then what you do is you send them a DM.
Yeah. And
they'll send you back their bank details. I do a bank transfer with my CRN number and all that. And within about 2 days, the ticket's in my Apple Wallet.
Thing is, though, I've got the membership because obviously at the end of the day, I want to end up with a season ticket because it's a lot easier for me. But you have to be on this One Hotspur Plus to build up your points to even get the email to get one.
Yeah. Is it the One Hotspur Plus?
Yeah.
Where you are on the waiting list. Yeah. Well, Ben's just put in there. It's not anymore.
Right. I'm just going to say something. So you got Mark Cook says, try having 10 grandkids at the age of 56. I'm the same age as you, Mark, and I have 4. I've only got 4 grandchildren, so you're doing well to have 10.
Yeah.
He's typing away, isn't he?
I'm not sure what he's doing.
Hold on, let me just.
He's not blowing his nose. Put it that way.
I had the Declan Rice red card on video repeat, says Dekaru. Ben,
big up yourself, Rice, baby.
Ben the sound you're in's real faint, Jose.
The what?
The sound you're in is real faint on all the mics. It might be my phone.
It's your phone then, mate, because we.
Yeah, I was going to say I can hear everyone.
No,
as I might go.
No, you're all right.
Have a good show. I'll go back and chat.
You sure?
Yeah, mate. I can hardly hear you.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. If you get it sorted, then come back on.
Yeah, it's Esperance internet, mate. Drives me crazy here.
Fair enough.
All right.
All right, mate. Take care, David.
Good to see you all.
Thank you.
Take care, Dave.
You too, buddy.
See you later,
mate.
Colbert. See you later, Colbert.
Hooroo, guys.
Says Ben Coffin says £400 is a trip to Milan for a couple of days. I'd never pay that for a league game. Angus is saying, morning all, what's your prediction for next week then? My prediction is that the game will last more than 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Mark Cook says, GCTV, they're the best, but I'm so glad I can give them back. Ben is saying, not anymore, Mark. You need a membership now to send tickets to people.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't. Okay, I'm going to come back to that then.
I'm going to take some accounts as well.
That removed the CRN loophole because of it.
Yeah.
Inner Hype says you can complain to the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission about ticket prices. Right. So I don't understand because you know your CRN. When I got my ticket for the last game that I went to,
yeah,
my first game at the stadium when I met you,
yeah,
I had to look back on my. I had to look back on my emails, right? And I found that my CRM was created in 2007, right? So I've got a CRM code and it was created in 2007. And back then I was a member. And I think back then you only had to pay a tenner to become a member. And I was a member back then. I do not recall ever paying any membership since then, right? But I was able to get a ticket and I'm not a member. And I was able to get a ticket. All the person had to do was put me in their list of contacts or something like that.
Yeah. But this is
like
what I've heard, Josie. This
club
is what
knows.
I've heard. That they make you like a friend or something, and then they can send.
They put you on the list or whatever,
Yeah.
and the club can see that you're on their list, and then all you do
That's
is they send, and all they do is they send it to your CRM code. But I didn't have to be a member to do it.
Yeah, because I think, to be honest, that's how I've got my tickets. Someone who's got a season ticket will add me to their friends list or whatever it's called.
Ah, that's it. Network. Ben's got it there. Yeah, you
Correct.
can add people to your network. So that's
it.
That's what
There we go. Well, that's how I've got my tickets.
Yeah, I'm not a member, but I was added to the network for this fella who I've never met before. Added me to his network, and that's how I got my ticket.
Yeah. Obviously, I've got all my mates on my network, so they can. If they don't go to a game, they just put it through to me.
Yeah.
Same as my brother, obviously, but.
Yeah.
What was I going to say as well? I was going to say something else that you said. Even away games, when we was at Wembley and stuff, I used to be able to go to all away games. Bear with me, Jose. So kick it off.
Cool. That's what happens when you got a jet setting lifestyle like Mr. Smith.
That's why nobody phones me ever. Well, to be honest, if anyone phones me, I'm normally in trouble, and so I don't answer it.
Mate, we need to become jet setters.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Where's the nearest airport to me? Bristol, I suppose. Bristol or Exeter.
What's that? The airport that you'd have to
The airports, yeah.
The nearest airport. Well, I'm further up. Well, the nearest airport.
You're Gatwick, can you?
Your nearest airport to me is Gatwick. I've only ever used Gatwick or Heathrow. I've never used any other airport in England. Just Gatwick or Heathrow.
Oh, I've flown from Bristol a few times. I've never flown from Exeter. I've flown from Bournemouth. That's right. Bournemouth's half sensible airport. You know, it's only small. It's small. It's not like Gatwick and Heathrow. There's absolute madness when you go there. Well, to be honest, Gatwick's got two terminals, hasn't it? Is it north and south?
Yeah.
It's north and south at Gatwick, because I used to be a taxi driver, so I went to all these places like loads of times. Gatwick's got north and south terminal.
Yeah.
And Heathrow's got
5.
Well, it says 5, but one of them there's
cargo.
Yeah, 2. Is it 3 that's not used? Because there's terminal 1, 2, then it goes 4 and 5.
No, you've got 5
terminals.
Is
it 3? Yeah,
but you've got 5 terminals, but there's a couple that are used for cargo.
No. Well, I've been to. See, it's a bloody long time ago.
4 and 5. You've been to 4 and 5.
For me, no. For me, when I used to go to Heathrow to pick people up, I always used to pray it was Terminal 5 because that's the closest one to me.
Yeah.
Right. And then you had, 5 is the closest because that's just off the M25. Terminal 2 is now the Queen's Terminal, and that's the one where you go through the tunnel. But there's another terminal in there. I think it might be 1. Yeah, it has to be 1. Terminal 1 that's not used anymore because they rebuilt Terminal 5, the Queen's Terminal, and that opened about 10 years ago, I think, and that's massive.
But some of the terminals that they've got there are not used by the public because they're used by cargo and freight.
I picked people up at Terminal 5, Terminal 2, Terminal 4 definitely, because Terminal 4 was the pain in the backside one to get to for me.
But you wouldn't be picking up people from the cargo and freight because it's cargo.
No, certainly not. Because it's like
passengers.
Freight. Yeah. But certainly I went to Terminal 5 a lot. I went to the Terminal 2. And I went to Terminal 4 because Terminal 4 is just a nightmare to get to. It's an absolute pain. Well, coming from my direction.
Yeah.
Terminal 5 was the easiest because it was up the M3, on the M25 for a couple of junctions, and then straight off to Terminal 5.
So we got onto airports because we said that we don't live a jet set lifestyle like you, Smithy, because it's all going off. You said so. I just said but we don't all live a jet set life like Smithy.
No, it was one of my mates. It was one of my mates. Funny enough, was obviously on the Tottenham website as well. This morning he said, "Fucking hell, bro! If you send 440 quid," I was like, "Yeah, it's weird. I just told the Tottenham boys I see one for that price."
There's no way I pay that.
So he's
on this planet.
He's panicking, obviously. Are you definitely going, Jose?
At the moment, I've been told that I have tickets for Tottenham and Brentford. Sorry, for Arsenal and Brentford is what I've been told.
I won't be at the Brentford game. I'll be different places, but I'm definitely there next Sunday. Yeah,
if I've got the ticket, which I've been told I've got it, but I've not received it yet. But I've been told I've got it. But if I have got it, then you will see me for definite.
How are you going to go about that? Because you said it's a pain for you on Sundays.
No, the worst. Right. So what tends to happen down here, Smithy, is down here we've got Southern Foul, not Southern Rail. It's called Southern Foul, and what they end up doing is they end up closing the lines at the weekend to do engineering works. And when the line is open, there's short notice cancellations and stuff like that. But seeing it's a 2:00 match, even on Sunday hours, it's only one train an hour. But even on Sunday hours, I haven't checked. I haven't even checked because it's not. I haven't checked because I haven't got the ticket yet. But I'm assuming that I can get to the game, and because coming back should be okay as well. Because if the game finishes at 4:00, and I leave, I don't know, let's say worst case scenario, I leave and wait for the crowds to go down, and I leave at 5. It means I'll probably get home 8:00, 9:00 in the evening. So that's what I'm hoping will happen. So, but I haven't checked because until I've physically got the ticket, then there's no point me looking at it.
I'm devastated for you, Josie. I'm absolutely devastated because it's like an 18-hour day for me when I go to flipping Tottenham.
We've got Dekaru. Dekaru, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. I hope you're well.
Yes.
I thought if you've lost one Aussie, Dave, then you need another replacement.
So this is Dekaru. This is Dekaru's voice, people. So for Dekaru comes into our chat, very, very, very honoured to have you on here, Dekaru.
I thought it's a lazy Saturday night, so might as well.
So is it a good? Have you had a good weekend? Has it been a good Saturday for you, Dekaru?
Absolutely. It's probably been a very busy month, so this weekend is completely free. So yeah, great,
fantastic.
Unfortunately, no Spurs games.
Yeah, but you're well though, because I haven't spoken to you in a while. So, but you're well though, are you?
Yeah. It's been ongoing back issues, which is, as I said a little bit earlier, that I'm glad you're still playing. This is the first season I've missed since 1996. So yeah. But working on it.
I don't know about playing because I got the right petrol yesterday when we started getting pumped. I ended up going to the and playing at the back, and I just told everyone, just fucking go up front, go up, push into the midfield, go further up, squeeze them up. I'll hold the back myself, because at the end of the day I got so cheesed off. But you know, at the end of the day, even at my age, it ain't competitive, is it? You want to fucking win at all costs.
Yeah, I don't think that ever changes. That's got nothing to do with age.
I know some other people will say, "Cool, you're taking it serious." Well, of course I am. What do you think? I'm going to turn up, run my bollocks off at my age just to go out and in a winter? That's not going to happen. So,
what position do you play?
I play up front. I either play up front or I play in the 10. That's where I like to play. But you know, when needs come, if it goes back and you need hands on the pump, then I'll go and play centre half, or I'll play centre mid.
Are you available next Sunday, Josie, if Solanke and Richie are still out?
Well, if they give me service, I'm available, because yesterday I got fuck all service. Although I did set up our goal, but then after that I got no service at all. It was non-existent in the second half.
Anyone heard anything about Solanke? I haven't even heard anything about it.
Adrian's one to speak to. Right, Adrian's got all the news.
With Solanke, right, Postecoglou, before the last game that we played against Newcastle, in his press conference, said Solanke's got a minor niggle. They could have risked him, but they decided not to for that game. So that tells me that he should. Well, but from what he said in his interview, it kind of leans to that he should be back for the Arsenal game.
Yeah, but anything with our medical team in the meantime.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to hear. The only thing is that we're going to get from the club, other than the press conference on Friday, would be if they release. You know, they do the videos from the training and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but they're not date stamped, so you can't tell when they were. But this one should be far easier to tell, because with people out away on international duty, if they're all back and they do a video on a Wednesday and you see all the people like Basuma, Archie Gray, Dragosins, all the players that have gone out, if you see and Sonny, if you see them all in a video on a Wednesday, then you know that that's been done on a Wednesday, because all the players should be back training by.
But Sonny's not on international duty at the minute, is he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he played on. Yeah, Korea played and drew against Palestine in their qualifiers 0-0 on Thursday.
Well, we haven't got to worry about England, because none of our players get chosen, so we haven't got to worry about that.
Yeah, but Archie Gray.
And to be honest, I'll be honest,
for the 21s.
The England squad, not that we got any players in it anyway, but a lot of them withdrew, didn't they? There was a few in the England squad that said, right, that they obviously had like a little problem and they just went back to their clubs.
Yeah, but I think Smithy's more worried about the Tottenham players, mate, than anyone.
Well, yeah, well, England's of no concern then.
Yeah,
I gave up with England. I got suckered into England when we got to the final. Right, I wore a shirt. Right, because on Adrian's show, I was always like, England are rubbish, England are this. Like, it was dreadful. But then when we got to the final, I got suckered into it. I even went down the pub with my England shirt on. Never again. Never again. I'm not sure who's let me down. I'm not sure who's let me down the most, Tottenham or England.
I was just about to ask you if you only worn a shirt once in your lifetime. Because initially you said, yeah, and I even wore a shirt. And I'm like, well, England
No.
England have only reached one final in your lifetime, so you wore a shirt once in your life.
My England shirt.
Yeah, but you hadn't said the word England when you said that.
I see.
I even wore a shirt for the first time, and I was like,
that sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you didn't wear Tottenham shirts when we was in the final and the semi-finals, did you, Mark?
What, a Tottenham shirt?
Yeah.
I wear Tottenham shirts all the time. I must have about 50 of the damn things upstairs. But like England shirt I was on about. I got my England shirt. There was an offer in JJB like years ago. So I think the JJB in my town shut now. And you could go in there and it was like 20 quid or something. And you could get the England shirt and the number on the back. And this is how long ago it was. I got 19 Lennon on the back. Because that was his squad number. It was either the Euros or a World Cup. Someone in the chat might be able to help out. I honestly don't know. And that's the only England shirt I've ever bought. And I got suckered into it when we played Spain. I thought, yeah, you know, went down the pub with the bloody England shirt on. And that was the end of that.
It's only Spain.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Exactly.
Who's that 15-year-old kid they got playing for him? Oh, him.
You mean Lamel?
Yeah. Oh, him. Oh, yeah.
What tops do you wear when you play Dakaru?
So my team uses the Brighton, the blue and white stripes.
Okay.
That's my local team that I play for. But yeah, I remember. I think it was 2006 when Australia first made the World Cup after, you know, like a 40+ year break, and the first game was against Japan. That was when I was living in Japan. So yeah, the Australian jersey is gold, and the Japanese is sort of a dark blue. So when you've got like 700 people and you're the only one, 700 people wearing dark blue and you're the only one wearing gold, in Japan, you kind of stand out. My friends basically wouldn't stand next to me. So I was kind of left alone. And then we scored 3 goals in the last 5 minutes to win the game. And I was probably the most unpopular person at the venue because I desperately wanted to cheer, but it was dead silent. It was just crazy. Yeah.
I hate to say this, but is it Japan where red is a very lucky color?
China, I think that's mostly.
Oh,
but
China.
yes, that whole,
Okay.
a lot of those cultures, yes, red.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Korea because Sonny's always got red.
It's all
Korea.
China, Korea, Japan. In China, for New Year, they give red envelopes with money.
Yeah, that's it. It's the red envelopes, isn't it, with money in them.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think you might find that it's North Korea that might wear the red. South Korea don't tend to wear red.
They're
Sonny
blue,
South
aren't they?
Korea, isn't he?
Sunny
Yeah.
South, yeah, not North, yeah, South.
Yeah, their home shirt is always red.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Okay, fine. I thought more North Korea would have been aligned with China than South Korea.
No, red is a very lucky color in that part of the world. It's to do with wealth and money, I think.
Yep. Definitely.
Bournemouth podcast email says, "Morning, guys. Good morning. I hope you're well down on the south coast, mate."
Yeah, that's not too far away from me, Bournemouth. It's about 40 miles, but it takes an age to get there because the roads are rubbish.
I'm asking people to hit the like, so let's hit the like button for the stream, and we have Lenny Mack in the house, who yesterday was an absolute scream in the chat yesterday. He was superb, and he's here. Good morning to you, Lenny, mate. Says I had the 2006 Japan Adidas tuck, was a beauty, and then says red is a lucky color in Asia.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dakar, you were just about to say something.
No, I was just sort of saying that. Yeah, that 2006. Yeah, it was so funny being because I was way out in the countryside, so there was no. I was basically the only Westerner in my area, and so yeah, the Japanese TV were basically the next game for Japan was against Brazil, and they basically just completely skipped Australia and went on to Japan versus Brazil, who's going to top the table, top the group, and then I think it was Aloisi and Tim Cahill, and I think it was like at the 87th minute, Japan was 1-0 up, and we just scored 3 on the trot. I've never been so happy and never tried to hide it quite so much. As I said, I was completely surrounded. I was the only one wearing gold, so yeah. It's funny. I mean, we're talking about England and we're talking about internationals and all of that. It's being an Aussie, of course. We love our sport, and in football we're not very good, but we seem to be doing pretty well with getting out of group stages in the World Cup, which is we really shouldn't be able to do that. And I think I saw a stat once. I think, with the exception of one World Cup winner, every World Cup winner except for one since 2006 have had to beat Australia. And the last World Cup, I think France beat us in the group stage and Argentina knocked us out. So it was the first time both finalists have had to sort of go on from there. So, yeah.
Did Australia, you play in your qualifying groups, did Australia not lose 1-0? this season in the qualifiers?
I don't
I
know.
thought I saw Australia had lost 1-0 in the qualifiers.
That's quite possible. The Asian group is just getting stronger, especially the Middle Eastern countries. Jordan and Saudi Arabia and Oman are really, really improving. So in the past, it was kind of Japan were the clear Asian, leaders, and South Korea were probably number 2. But it's really starting to pick up in quality. So they're actually quite good. Kazakhstan, I think, is really one of those countries. I think are really starting to get better too. So yeah, it's I wouldn't. A lot of the qualifiers, we don't get our European players back. So,
Right, so
we do lose quite a few.
On Thursday,
yeah.
So this week, Australia 0, Bahrain 1 in the qualifier. And Australia had it's a Harry Suter own goal in the 89th minute that gave Bahrain the win. But Cassini Yengi for Australia was sent off in the 77th minute. So you actually had 11 shots with 4 on target. Bahrain had 3 shots with 1 on target. You had 72% possession. Is this sounding similar to a club side that I know? 72% possession, 82% accuracy to their 60%, but they won 1-0.
Yeah,
I mean, in your group C for the qualifiers, Group C is made up of Japan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, Australia, and China. That's not an easy group. You've got Saudi Arabia and Japan in the group with you.
You'd expect Japan to top the group, but the Saudis are really good too. So, you wouldn't be surprised for Australia to finish 3rd there at best.
Isn't it? I think isn't it the top 2 that go through to the next
I don't
stage?
know. It's because
this is like a Group C, so it's telling me that there's more than one group. You've got Group A, which is made out of the United Arab Emirates, Iran, Uzbekistan, North Korea, Kyrgyzstan, and Qatar. Group B is Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, South Korea, Palestine, Oman. So you've got 3 groups of 6 teams in each group for the Asian qualifiers.
I think last World Cup we had to go through I think it was the best of the rest. That last sort of spot in the World Cup, we had to play a South American country, and there were 2 knockout games. I think there were 4 teams for 1 spot. So we basically didn't qualify through Asia, had to come in through the sort of best of the rest group.
Yeah.
So only got through into the tournament through the sort of skin of our teeth. So that's kind of where we are, nationally. So
Lee Wiz saying Socceroos have come on shitloads in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Dragon D's nuts says 1-0 to Bahrain. David Shears going Aussie, oi. Mark Cook, I saw the sad news come up. R.I.P. Ron Yates, ex-Liverpool captain, passed away this morning. I did see that earlier, and he was 86, and he had dementia. But Ron Yates. All our thoughts go to his family and friends at this sad time for him. But he was a Liverpool legend. I remember Ron Yates when I was growing up. He was probably coming to his. I think he'd finished playing. He'd retired when I first started watching playing football. I think Ron Yates, but he's obviously a colossus for the club, and Liverpool supporters will be in mourning. So, anything else, lads, that you got? Get off your chest. Smithy, you're very quiet. You normally got a word or 2 to say, son.
My ears banging and clashing, but I was just letting everyone else talk. What am I going to say? I'll see you next Sunday to get mashed.
Oh, happy days. I was going to say, I always find when I go, because it's 9 or 10 hours round trip for me on the damn bus thing, because it goes.
You getting there by horse and carriage?
No. But the bus, right now, for me, when I go with Somerset Spurs, I go to Taunton, so I got to get a lift there, right? And that's completely the opposite direction to London for me. So I go to Taunton for like 8 o'clock. If it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, the bus leaves 8 o'clock, and then it goes. Do you know the road layouts, like the motorways? It goes like M5 to Bristol, which is going north, so we're still not going towards London, and then it shoots along the M4.
So you're going like that. You're going upwards.
Yeah, just like that,
upwards
and then
towards
like
the
that.
west. Yeah, upwards towards the west, and then you're darting back across on the M4.
Yeah, and so it's about 4 hours on the bus. I can imagine, because they always try and get there for about midday, and I've normally had 3 or 4 cans on the coach going up, and then I normally get off. I normally get off the bus. Sometimes in the Bill Neck for a pint, but I always work my way round to the Bricklayers because that's like the legendary pub. I love the Bricklayers, absolutely love it. I won't go in the number 8 bar anymore. That used to be called Bell and Hare because
leave you in there, man.
Eh?
It's expensive in there.
I know. Well, because in the Bricklayers it was about £5 a pint. Something like that, 5.5 for a pint. I went in the number 8. Well, I always call it the Bell and Hare because it was a Bell and Hare when I used to go. And so I went in there, £8 a pint for like Foster's. I was like, Jesus. But then I found out Levy owns it, so I won't go in there no more.
There's a comment. Look, it's expensive because it's owned by the club.
Yeah, exactly. I refuse to go in there now. And that was my local. That was sort of my local stop when I used to go a lot.
I used to go to the Antwerp, man.
See, I don't even know where the Antwerp is, or else I would go round there. I could easily Google it when I get there, but like, I have no idea where the. So someone told me it's like where the Bell and Hare is, or the number 8 is sort of up that road there, sort of near the Ledley King Memorial.
Literally straight up that road to the top.
Yeah, and so if you come out the number 8 bar, across the road, past the Ledley King mural, and it's up that road.
Yeah, just straight up. It's about, I don't know, about a 5-minute walk from there, if that. Depends how fast you walk, I suppose.
Well, it's about 20 for me then.
It's where all the like police vans and that are all parked on match days. That road, just straight.
I've never been, because where the coach parks for us. Do you know where the Bill Nick is?
Yeah, I've been there loads of times.
Yeah. Well, where the Bill Nick pub is, sort of that's towards the north end of the stadium. And you got the road that the Bill Nick's on. If you go parallel to that, but back a road, that's where all the sort of coaches park, the supporters coaches and all of that. And our coach normally gets in there. So it's a fair old hike from where the coach parks.
Yeah, that is a bit of a
but it's doable. It's doable. Hang on, Ben's put in there. I'll show you where it is, Mark. Oh, fair enough.
David Shear says
I sort of know where it is. Is it
expensive in Australia, is it?
It says where he is, it's £8 a pint is standard in Australia.
Here in Oxford is.
And Mark Cook says, I'm glad I don't drink at 8 notes to a pint.
But any of the other pubs, not just the number, well, apart from the number 8, like if you go in the Bricklayers, it's like 5.5. 5.5. Get your pint.
It's watered down to fuck though.
Oh, is it? Well, to be honest, after I've had 3 or 4 cans on the coach going up, it all tastes the same.
Put it this way, on match days in the Bricklayers, it's not the nicest pint of beer you'll ever try in your life. Put it that way.
Well, it's like I said, like because normally we'll leave Taunton at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then they pick people up in Bridgewater, which is the next junction up. And then I sort of, when they stop to pick these people up, I sort of look round to see if anyone's got a can on the table, and then if someone already has, and then I like, shh, and open the can up.
Sounds like
And
a
that's-
community service bus, Mark, picking all these people up in different places.
Well, no, but this is why it goes that way, because Somerset's quite a big county. It goes like up the M5, and that's not the only stop it makes. It stops at Bridgewater, and then it goes on up towards Bristol, and it will pick some people up there. And then it's
I've been to that airport.
yeah, Bristol Airport's nice, isn't it?
It's quick and easy. I'll give it
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but that's why I said it's nice, because it's not Heathrow. It's not like madness like Heathrow and Gatwick, huh? But it's a fairly small terminal. I've been there hundreds of times. Like when I was a cabbie, like I was always out there picking people up or taking them up.
Is that close to Bristol? Is it?
Bristol is about 40 mile from me. It's basically only but then again, the roads around here are quite rubbish. So it's about an hour. It's about an hour's drive.
Okay.
But it depends on the roads, because the roads around here are absolutely terrible. And if you go at the wrong times, you get stuck in queues.
Okay.
So you got Lee Wiz saying, when I started drinking,
I'll tell you backstage where I live.
It was 78p for a pint of bitter. David Shear says, we have beer of the month at £6. The government raised prices twice a year, 6% each time. And that's why you that's probably why you're getting the prices that David's commenting on.
Sounds like Tottenham.
Mark Cook says,
yeah, that's the season tickets.
So Mark's up north says, up here, my missus drinks Carling, it's £3.80 a pint. And Ben says, my local, it's 6, 7, 8 quid a pint for 2/3 of a pint, but it is top quality beer.
Cheaper than Oxford.
Is it? Bloody hell.
Oxford, I mean, I had a drink with my mate the other week, and it was, I think, I had, what did I have? I had like a Thatcher's Haze cider, and it was like £9.80 or something.
Well, hang on a minute. Thatcher's Haze cider is not proper cider. You're talking to the cider king here. Well, I don't like stuff, so I got ill on it when I was about 15.
Yeah, but I don't live in the countryside like you, Mark, where apple.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm not in the countryside, but like there are various places around here where I can get proper cider. I mean, with bits of apples and that floating about in it.
Yeah, because you're surrounded by apple trees, aren't you? Where it's made. Whereas here,
I shoot them down with a barrel
blocks and
they shoot them down with a barrel and arrow, don't they, in the trees?
Oh yeah. Well, to be honest, if you go in the countryside round here, it's
Just
almost
like
like the Wicker Man. There's like burning torches and pitchforks, and there's all sorts going on.
I'm nowhere near any countrysides here.
Well, I can look out, not that window, but I can look out the window that way and I can see countryside, green fields, sheep.
But then I suppose cities don't really have much countryside, I suppose.
Yeah.
Hey, Cara, the price is similar where you are to where David Shear is for drinks.
I'm trying to just wrap my head around how much a pound is compared to a dollar. So, yeah, I don't really. What did he say? Like £8 or something?
Yeah.
Do you want me to Google it a minute?
I think it's probably, what's that? Is that like maybe $15? No, that seems way too expensive.
Is it the same currency as like American dollars, Australian?
No, I think Australian dollars about 66 cents American is 1 Australian. So it's like roughly 3 Australian dollars is 2 American.
Okay.
So
David Shear's about 58 pence, he's saying.
That doesn't help me at all.
$1, $1 Australian dollar is about 58 pence.
Yeah. It used to be £3. Sorry, it used to be 1 Australian dollars was £3, but I think it's dropped considerably. It was like 96 that I went to Europe, so that was the
yeah, but that's
a long time ago.
That's when we still had francs, pesetas, lira, and all that in here.
Yeah,
in Europe
all of that.
Before it went all into euros, because when I used to go back to Spain pre-2000, you used to get a lot more money for your peseta than what you do now for your euro. So Ben Coffin saying £8 is 15.74 Aussie dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've just looked on my phone just at some random thing, and it says on here, whether they take their bit or not, I don't know, but it says 1 GDP, which is obviously a pound, is 1.9237. So it's virtually 2.
Roughly double, yeah.
It's virtually 2 to 1.
That's a lot of money for a pint, isn't it? Well, it's £8.
Yeah,
To
I
me,
wouldn't
£8
pay
is a lot
that.
of money.
I wouldn't pay that.
But you're in a different part of Australia, aren't you, to David?
Yeah. I'm. Did he say he was? I think
He's Western. He's Western. He's Western Esperance.
I'm out in the countryside, sort of south of Sydney.
He's in Copperland.
Copperland.
Copperland, yeah. So, yeah. I venture out my back door, and there's like, things that'll kill you.
That is the thing that we don't realise in this country is that Australia is absolutely massive.
Oh,
it's like the size of Europe and more, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, but we know that already. I mean,
we sort of do, but I don't think we appreciate it.
No, we do, because you hear the Australians that come on, and you hear the North Americans that come on, and they say, "We're just going for a drive."
Yeah, 15 hours.
Yeah, and where you going? Oh, we're going 15 hours, and to them that's just a drive. And I'm just like, right. Well, you could get from where you are, Mark, because you're further down on the coast than I am. You can get from there to Scotland and possibly back doing a 15-hour drive. Well,
if the roads are clear. If the roads are clear.
Enough. But these guys just call it a small, just going
around the corner.
Just going for a drive.
Yeah, I think it hit me the most when I flew to Tokyo, and it's a 9-hour flight, and 5 hours into the flight was still over Australia.
Yes. Yeah.
So you think flying from Sydney to Tokyo, you would think, halfway through the flight, you'd have at least sort of cleared Australia. But we were still over the country. It's
crazy.
You don't quite realize. And I've done the I love my train trips. That's one thing that I've sort of picked up from my time in Japan. And I've done the GAN, which is from Darwin to Adelaide. And a few years back, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I did the Indian Pacific, which is from Sydney to Perth. So that's like a 4-day train journey. And it's just, when you do that last stretch from Adelaide to Perth, and you're basically traveling for more than 24 hours across just empty desert. There's just nothing. And it gives you that, like, 24 hours on a train without seeing a single thing. You just sort of realize, wow, that's only kind of the last part of the journey. So, yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, I was going to say, the thing that always gets me is that you can be on a train for that long and you won't see any other signs of, like, human.
Yeah, there's no towns, there's nothing.
No. I mean, in England, this whole country, you can't go too far without bumping into, like, civilization. I mean, unless you go to somewhere like Dartmoor or the Lake District, but even then you're going to bump into civilization at some stage.
England's really small, though, isn't it, compared with other countries?
Yeah, especially for the millions of people that live here.
What's the population? It's like 30-something million, isn't it?
Nah, more, 60.
No, it's getting on towards 70 million. It's getting on towards 70 million now, isn't it?
There's only 25 million in the country here.
Yeah, well, there we go.
You got, I mean, the Northern Territory is, it's probably, 4-5 times the size of the UK? And the population's only like 300,000.
That's crazy.
Imagine the size of the UK, multiply it by about 4 or 5, and then have, the population of only like a small city across that entire area. And that's,
I think you've got something like 13 million in London alone. Out of that 64 million. There's 13 million in London alone, I think, just on its own.
Feels like more when you're in London, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's madness.
Especially if you want to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's just overpopulation everywhere. Just catching up. Sorry, but what you guys, everyone's been talking about. £7 then, Ben. In Perth, you pay $15 to $16. Ben's saying that's 15 or 16, or a schooner through, though, right? David Shear says we don't have pokies. Eastern states are subsidised.
Yeah,
So
pokies everywhere here.
I don't know what pokies means, but that's what he's putting. No.
Slot machines.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Fruities.
Phil Coy says you have to get a plane everywhere in Australia.
I visit my sister in Brisbane, and we do the 14-hour drive each Christmas. So that's 1,400 kilometers, roughly. Hardest part's getting through Sydney. I don't know
what kilometers is in miles, to be fair.
It's about
1.7 kilometers is a mile. 1,700 meters. Sorry, 1,700 meters is a mile. 1,000 meters is a kilometer.
It's probably 900 miles, the trip. Yep.
Yeah. He says, I'm 720 kilometers away from Perth.
What's that, about 500 miles?
Yeah.
About 400.
More or less. Round figures.
Not too far then, Copper.
680 is 400 miles. So, yeah, just over 400 miles.
I always work on the 100 kilometers as 60 miles.
It's so 62 miles. It's 62 miles.
As a general rule,
to be exact. Because that's why, you know, it used to get the 0 to 60 type performance times for a car. Now it's 0 to 60. When you see the adverts, it's 0 to 62 miles an hour because that is 100 kilometers.
Ben saying that in 15 hours you could drive to Poland.
Yeah, easy.
David Shear saying Melbourne is 2,500 kilometers away from him.
That's crazy.
There's a road sign not far from where I live that says Melbourne 1,000 kilometers.
Wow.
So
Ben says he's desperate to go on the trains that they Karu described.
Look, you got to do the Ghan first. The Ghan is just fantastic because it goes through the middle. You go to places like, you got to do the Darwin to Adelaide because it stops at Cooperpedy, which is like, that's the place that's like in the middle of the desert, so hot that they all live underground. So it's just, that's an experience.
Was that where them fair snakes are?
Sorry,
that real deadly thing, the inland taipan thing.
Oh, they're in the desert, yeah. I've got a blue-tongue lizard in my backyard that first time I saw
I was going to say, I watched a program with Steve Irwin messing about with them things. Deadliest snake in the world, and it licked him on the face.
Yeah. But you've got to be out in the desert for that. You don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go out there, to be honest.
David is confirming you can fit Britain into Western Australia 8 times, and there are 2.5 million people.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, you think we got 65 million people in this country, and Western Australia 8 times you can fit our country in there. There's only 2.5 in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you must be able to go for days out there without seeing a single soul if you were on your own.
Yeah, people get lost out there.
Yeah, I can quite believe it.
Weirdly enough, it's nearly always Germans. I don't know why. It's like
Germans.
Yeah, we just they're sort of the amount of times it's I don't know why. The Germans and crocodiles don't mix.
I don't think anyone mixes with crocodiles.
No.
I don't know why.
I don't think it was. I honestly don't think it. I honestly don't think your nationality matters if you go swimming in a river with crocodiles in it.
Lee Wiskin saying 900 miles drive from here. You're in the Czech Republic or the old Eastern Europe. So it just goes to show how big, because people will look at Australia on a map and just see it looks like an island surrounded by the ocean, right? But when you're then referring to where we are in this small, tiny part of the world that we're in our country, and then you look at the rest of Europe, and then you do it this way, that 900 miles, it's just from here to the Czech Republic or the old Eastern Europe. That tells you how big, or you start putting that into comparison to tell you how big Australia actually is.
Yeah.
That's our annual drive to Brisbane to visit my sister for Christmas. 900 miles, 1,400k.
Well, that's
we do that in a day.
Flipping heck. But that's more than the length of this country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said a minute ago, didn't I, about Scotland? You've got David Shear says Perth to Sydney is a 5-hour flight. So within your own country, 5 hours, and you're only going from Perth to Sydney.
Yeah.
Well, so 5-hour flight from, say, Heathrow, that's like further than Poland, because I went from Bristol to Poland and that was 4 hours. And so it's further than that. It's another hour again.
You go to the Canary Islands in 4 hours from the south coast of England, and the Canary Islands is bang in line with further down than Morocco and places like that. So you're actually in Africa.
Yeah.
From Europe, you've reached Africa in 4 hours flying. So you could fly to Morocco, you could fly to places like Marrakesh and places like that, and you could be there in 3 hours to Marrakesh, I would have thought. So, and Ben's saying a 5-hour flight would take you to the Middle East.
Yeah, probably would.
Rakesh says, big up, guys. Hi, Rakesh. How are you, mate? It's been a while. I hope that you are well.
One of the things I enjoyed about living in Japan was you could actually fly to South Korea for the weekend or to China for the weekend and fly back again. You can't do that here. Can probably get to New Zealand from, the East Coast, but yeah, Perth, as David said, was like 5 hours away. I think Auckland's only 2.
Yeah, it's just madness. It's absolutely madness, isn't it? So
classic, right?
But yeah, right. So that's all your flights dealt with. It's 2. Right, I'm gonna have to. It was 2 hours. We're 2 hours into the show, and I've got to get ready to go do shopping and that. So, gonna wrap it up soon. So, anything else that you guys want to discuss?
No, it's been good.
I
don't think we've hardly mentioned football.
Football. We started off with football, but at the end of the day, it's up to you, the members. It's up to you what you want to talk about and how you direct and where you take the conversation to. We've taken it. We're talking about some serious issues, and hopefully, I'm hoping people do it anyway, guys. I really do hope people do it anyway. But it's so important to check on your health. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've discussed it on the channel today, but it just really is important. If you think there's something wrong, get it checked out. Just get it checked out. Peace of mind. And for anybody that's going through illnesses, and anybody that's got any ailments at the moment, or fear any ailments, I wish you all the very, very best, because everybody deserves to. In my eyes, everybody deserves to be healthy. I don't like people with illnesses. As I said, it helps you. It doesn't help you physically, and it doesn't help you mentally either. So it's the way the direction of the chat went, and I'm glad it's gone that way, because I think it's important.
And checkups are so important. It's just like I think I'm about 2 years behind you, Jose. So as far as age is concerned, and I think go back to, I think it was 2001. For the Australians out there anyway, it's melanoma, skin cancers are really a big issue. And I found one in 2001 that was quite massive, actually. And it was sort of touch and go for a couple of years, which is kind of why I sort of threw in my job and moved to Japan in the end. It was like sort of, try something different. So I was still going through checkups even sort of during that time. And it's, you got to just look after yourself. It's the checkups that are like super important, for everything, because you with all of that stuff, if you identify it early enough, you're much better off. So
it's about get checked out, people. Do you know what I mean? Don't fear it, because the longer you leave it, something could set in, something could get worse. I'm hoping not, but it's reality that can happen. So it's just best, just go and get yourselves checked out. Get yourselves checked out, and whatever it is that you need to, go and get yourselves checked out. And then I wish you nothing but the best, to everybody. I want everybody to be happy and healthy. So so it's football. We've talked about illnesses. We've learned how much kilometers and miles today. We've learned how great, how small our country is in comparison to other parts of the world, because we are, we're an island nation. This is ours, and it's ours. But in comparison, we've got a hell of a lot of people living on this little island that we call home. We have a lot of people here. compared to other countries.
Yeah, but it's like you said, that you can't travel for too far in this country without bumping into civilization, even if you live like in a backwater like me. You know, I live in a town, so you know, but like, even if you're out in the countryside, you've got to travel what, 2 or 3 miles, I would have thought, before you start seeing civilization again, another house. It's not too far. You got to go.
So just I was going to say, DJ Samuel, a member for a month, says, "Cheers, DJ. You haven't done it, but if anyone wants to enter the predictions for this week, we did a bonus week because there's no Premiership games. We did a bonus week. If you leave your results on yesterday's stream, I will put them in. The kickoff's today at 3 o'clock, so they're in 3 hours' time. So it gives you a chance to put it in there. It's just the League 1 and League 2 games. So what I suggest you do is either look at it and put them in there, or somebody that's already put them in the comments on the stream for yesterday, just copy the fixtures and then put your own results in. But it's for people that want to make up some points this week. It is a bonus week. We do it every year throughout the season. Anytime there's no Premiership games, this is the only one that's continuous. So I noticed that you didn't put any. You haven't done them yesterday, DJ Samuel. Mark, I know that you're aware already.
I got 3 hours to do it then.
Yeah. So well, you do, but people say that to me and they still forget.
No.
Dekaru said his internet died. Thank you very much for coming on, Dekaru, and sharing your thoughts. It's absolutely superb. Different perspective. You can talk to us all day long about Australia, Japan, and places like that. And and we learn things new, which we have today. So it's been really, really good. Smithy, what's your last words, mate? Have you enjoyed the show today?
Yeah, I just come on to look pretty, really. Chill with you guys.
Look pretty, glam up the show for us.
And no, to anyone that's going to the game next weekend, I'll see you all there.
Fantastic. So tomorrow, just to let people know, tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning on the channel, Ellie and Chang are hosting a show at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So please tune in to see them two lovely people on their views about Tottenham, which is I'm sure they're going to talk about tomorrow. It will be about Tottenham. Not too sure what they're talking about because I don't ask for run sheets and stuff like that. But they're doing a show tomorrow 9 o'clock in the morning. I will be back on tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock on Early Doors Football TV. So I'll be on with supporters from other clubs on Tony's channel tomorrow. They've invited me back again, so I'm doing that tomorrow evening. And then on Monday at 4 o'clock, I will do the results show for the fixtures for this weekend. I could have done it tomorrow night, but I'm not gonna because you've got Spurs diehards on tomorrow night, and I'm doing another channel tomorrow night, so I'm going to save that for Monday at 4 o'clock. And then we'll probably get back to doing football talk because we've got our game against Arsenal coming up. So I'll probably do a show probably Wednesday. Predictions for next week, Premiership predictions for next week. The show is on Thursday because I'm not around Friday. So the show is on Thursday. Other than that, if you don't come to the show on Thursday, you can get your predictions in. Same thing after the stream on Thursday's show. Yeah. And with that, I've got nothing more to say, lads. Thank you very much for joining me, you guys on the screen. So that's the David, Dekaru, Smithy, the Sheriff, and all the people in the chat. Thank you for being here. I wish you all a great Saturday, whatever's left of it, whatever you still got to come. So for those that are before time, our time, or after our time, enjoy your Saturday. Have an absolute blinder of a weekend. And it's come on, you Spurs. In the big Ange, I trust.
Big love, everyone. Smash the likes.
Get off my land.